Okay, guys. Sorry about all the dead air time. I'm still new to this YouTube thing, and I'm trying to use the desktop, and so maybe in the future I can do some on-screen stuff. Trying to get the encoder set up and everything right. But I wanted to. By the way, I'm Jimmy. I have a channel called not channel. This is Keto AF on YouTube. We have a Facebook group called Keto AF and Fasting, and we've had that group a couple of years. A lot of people, really active group, a lot of motivation, a lot of inspirational stories, a lot of anecdotal N equals one testimony. Just all around great group of people that are getting healthy together. Uh, so I decided to start this YouTube channel and kind of use this as a vlog and hopefully share some of them on Keto AF Facebook. I want to say we are going. You heard it first. If you're listening to this, we're going to be doing another giveaway. We skipped July. We're going to be doing a giveaway in August, and our goal is we started this year. I think around 2,800 members in Keto AF on Facebook, and our goal was to hit 5,000 by the end of the year, and we're almost at 4,000. But we really want to speed it up, so we do these giveaways, and you keep listening because I'm going to make this one pretty short, but I'm going to tell you what we're giving away here in just a minute, and then how to win it at the end. So be sure and check it out. I'm not going to keep you guys more than 10 minutes today, maybe. Uh, what sparked this is there's been an influx of questions lately, and I empathize with people that are asking these questions, and I love answering them. But people are really second guessing themselves, and so we've got this saying, and it's in the title. KISS, keto is super simple. It can be super complicated, but it's also super simple. So, people message me and message the group worried about macros, worried about enough fat, enough protein. We're all pretty set on the carbs, but even that, net carbs, total carbs, supplements, exercise, all of this stuff, and it just worries people to death. And one of the problems I see is myself and uh, a lot of people do all this research and all this reading and maybe not in-depth research, but they do research on read a book or look at different people's views on keto, and that's the problem. There's a million different views, and people get overwhelmed, and they read and read and read, and they never take action. So that's why we say keto is super simple, because initially it is. All you need to do is take action. So what sparked this, other than the comments, was I was in Sam's yesterday. I went to Sam's to get some Kerrygold butter and some almond flour, and I cruised through the supplement aisle, the vitamin aisle, because I'm going to get some vitamin E. And I see this guy, and he kind of reminded me of myself. A few years ago, he was morbidly obese. I'm still technically obese, but I'm not like I was. But he was. I saw him on the supplement aisle, and he was looking at different supplements, and I didn't think anything of that. And then he turned around and he starts looking at the Atkins bars, and he picks up a couple of them and he puts them back down. And he looks at protein shakes, and he picks them up and he puts them back down. And then, I started to say something to him, like just spark up conversation, but I was in a hurry and I didn't. And I run into him a couple aisles over, and he's looking at the buy drinks. He's looking at several different drinks, looking at the calorie content, the carb content. I knew at that point, looking at the drinks he saw, I knew he was considering low carb. And and he walked over the whole store, and he probably looked at 50 different things. And then I get ready to check out. I've got my stuff, and I see him on the aisle beside me, and he's got a case of Diet Coke and a case of Vienna sausage. And the now version of me kind of cringed when I saw that. And I didn't judge him, but I just like, oh man, I wish I could talk to him about that choice. But then I get in the truck and I'm heading home, and I'm like, you know what? He's getting started. So people call that dirty keto, ugly keto, but it gets him started. Technically, what he got was keto. I mean, never mind Diet Coke, never mind, the gut biome and all these issues that it could cause. Never mind Vienna sausage being heavily processed. He got two things that are going to reduce his carbs, and that's going to get him started on the diet. And if that, or the lifestyle, I'm sorry, if he gets started on it, then you know, that gets him on his way. It's super simple. He grabbed Diet Coke and Vienna sausage, and he's on his way. So, I was like, man, I really shouldn't have just mentally judged him on that because he got started. A lot of people don't even get to that step. So that gets me thinking about the last video. We talked about the 4 pillars of health. Diet is number 1. There's some argument whether or not sleep or exercise is the second most important. And then stress management is the 4th. So you've got diet, sleep, exercise, stress management. Any 4 of those can derail you. But we know that the underlying problem is insulin resistance and hyperinsulinemia. That has to be addressed. That cannot be addressed if we sit here and worry about it. Literally, I can see people stressing so much about whether they're doing it right that they can stimulate cortisol and hinder themselves. So I want people that just get started in the group, the ebook that I wrote that's free to everybody on our Facebook page. I kind of do it in phases, and the first phase of my diet is real reminiscent of Atkins' first phase. No limitations other than carbohydrates. I just want you to get started. And I want us to realize that these 4 pillars of health have to be addressed eventually. But initially, we just got to get started. We say we got bigger fish to fry than macros right now. We got bigger fish to fry than sleep management. Right now we're trying to get started. We're trying to reduce our insulin resistance. We're not going to throw blue blocker glasses or, taping off your curtains and blacking out your room at night for sleep. We're not going to go in depth on cortisol and meditation or prayer. We're not going to talk about all that right off the bat. Right off the bat, we're going to get you started. We're not going to throw too much on you, and it's going to be KISS. Keto is super simple at the beginning. And then we're going to, as you progress, you will get more and more into this. You'll notice you'll have a lot of success, whether it be inches or pounds, right off the bat. And and some people, and don't judge yourself on what other people do. If you're a husband and wife combo, and your husband's lost 20 pounds and you've only lost 2, you're 2 different people. You have 2 different metabolic structures. You're gonna, he may lose a lot right off the bat and then plateau, and then you may start out slow and then just catch on fire. You don't know. Don't judge yourself by anybody else. Just judge yourself by your compliance, and don't put too much pressure on yourself. So I think you need to ask yourself a couple of questions. Why? Number 1, why are you doing this? If the answer is to look good in a bathing suit, or to maybe hook up, and that's great to have those goals and to want to look better, but we want to do this as a lifetime. This isn't one of those diets that you go on, you lose 20 pounds for a birthday party or a cruise or something, and then you just let yourself go. This is a lifestyle. This is what we're going to do the rest of our life in one form or another. So first of all, look at your motives for doing this and get that straight. And how long are you willing to commit? If we prove to you that this is the answer, that this fixes the underlying conditions that cause obesity and cause inflammatory and autoimmune and just all kinds of ailments that we suffer today as a culture, are you willing to do it the rest of your life in some form or fashion? Are you willing to make that sacrifice? Because I tell people all the time, my goal is not for you to lose weight. I mean, that's awesome, but I really don't care if you lose a pound. I want you, and this sounds really bad, I want you to die of a massive heart attack at the age of 120. I want you to live to be 120 years old, die in your sleep, no pain. Uh, the day before you were out hiking or you're out fishing or you were lifting weights or something, you live a good, long life, active, what good is it to be to live to be 120 if the last 30 years of your life, you're bedridden or in a wheelchair or, you just can't do the things you want to do. So, how long are you willing to commit? Because this is a lifelong process. Uh, and I talked about all knowledge and no action, and I'm guilty of it myself. You study, 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 and at some point you just have to bite the bullet and implement it and just do it. And then realize that it's going to evolve. When I started primal, and I hit a plateau, and then I realized some form of keto was going to be necessary to plateau, and I'm still dealing with these issues. But so we're going to evolve. I evolved from primal, which is a low carb diet, to keto, and really a lot of processed food, and now focusing on whole foods. I evolved from taking cheat days at least once or twice a month to cheat meals, and now I evolved to my cheat meals are still keto, they're just more of an indulgence. Uh, and that's discipline. That's the second part of this point. Your discipline grows as you grow in the diet. So don't beat yourself up when you mess up every now and then, especially at the beginning. Just develop that discipline. I wrote in the ebook that research shows it takes 66 days to break a bad habit or develop a good habit. And so, and you've noticed it, I was talking to my son about it the other day. He's a workout fanatic, and when you work out every single day, you crave working out. And when you skip a day, you just feel like crap. But on the other hand, if I sit on that couch back there every day, I crave sitting on the couch and watching TV and eating chips, and then it sucks to get up and work out. So, and it takes about 66 days, according to science. Who knows? But I put 60 days in the book to develop that habit or break the bad habit. So realize that goes back to discipline again. And then the other thing, we touched on it earlier, is individualization. You you can't judge yourself on anybody else's results. What works for me may not work for you. So don't be afraid to change it up. Don't be afraid for a little trial and error. If you change some up and you gain 2 pounds, who cares? Try something else. Eventually try what works for you. High protein may work for me. Higher fat may work for you. You may be able to eat 50 grams of carbs a day. I might only be able to eat 20. We play with it, and you get what's right for you. And then the beauty of it is, what's right for you now, when you lose 50 pounds, there may be a whole new right for you. So we just constantly keep evolving and individualizing and realizing that anybody that tells you this is the way you do keto, ABC, steps ABC, follow this, they're full of it, because everybody's different. Everybody, and hormones, physical activity at level, age, level of insulin resistance, metabolic damage, that all plays a factor. And we all have different levels of all of that. So we have to individualize it to ourselves. And unfortunately, nobody can tell you. People can lead you in the right direction, but you have to be proactive and be honest with yourself. And you have to trial and error, figure out what works for you. We can lead you to the water, but we can't make you drink. So anyway, that's just something to think about. So, don't beat yourself up on macros. I haven't seen it, but there's some macro calculator, and that's awesome for some people. But when you first start, I don't even think you should worry about macros. I think you should worry about becoming fat adapted and ketone adapted and get over carbohydrate dependence. And I think that's all you need. Macros is a fish we're going to fry later, a bigger fish we fry later. Right now, we just want to get you developing that good habit. But anyway, as promised, I teased the giveaway at the beginning, and I sat here and rambled and didn't. I want you to do, and this is what everybody on the group on Facebook is going to do, invite somebody to this channel, somebody that you care about. We're going to be putting out a lot more content in the near future. Invite somebody to the channel. Join Keto AF and Fasting on Facebook. If I can figure it out, I will put a link in the notes to the page. And then we want to try to reach 5,000 members by the end of this year. So all we want you to do is somebody that you care about, or somebody that inspires you, or that you think would love this lifestyle and would love to contribute and help others and be helped by others and just join a community like this, invite them to the page. And what we're going to do is we're going to track that. We're able to track it on Facebook, and whoever invites, every time you invite somebody to the Facebook page, I'll see that you did it, and every time you invite one person, your name will go in the hat for the drawing. And what we're going to do is we're going to give away a complete Keto Mojo blood ketone testing kit. So brand new, it's going to come with the ketone strips, it's going to come with the Lancet, and it's going to come with the, of course, the Keto Mojo meter. And they're awesome. There's a few different brands that make the ketone strips. Most of them are dedicated glucose meters, and they really rob you, in my opinion, on the strips. So Keto Mojo, I believe their strips are less than $1 a piece, as compared to like $3 or $4 a piece for Precision and even Nova.